even like when I was on the dating sites, and I know that it's not exactly the same thing, but I feel like it's similar. I would meet these men who, and I know we've talked about it before, but it's like they would say they were 6 feet tall, and I meet them and I'm standing over them.
Right.
And it's not that I'm not attracted to shorter men. I don't necessarily care, but to me, it was a huge, giant fucking red flag right away that it's like, if you're going to lie about this, which is so like, I can totally, I'm
Figure
not
it
fighting
out. Yeah.
you, right? Like, I can absolutely tell. Then what else are you going to lie about?
Right.
That is more of my problem with it than the actual like being 6 feet tall.
Right. Yes, and that's a whole other conversation we could have.
We
And you know
can't,
what
because
though?
that's like a tattoo on the face. That's what that's like. It's like
Yeah.
having a tattoo on your face.
Yes, that's exactly what it's like. Oh my gosh. You know what though? It's interesting is I was lied to about the age of a guy, which
Mm,
is again something that I wouldn't judge necessarily like prior, right? The fact that you lied about it is irritating. Yes.
right.
And but I have to admit, I understand when people lie about it.
A hundred
I'm not saying
percent.
it's right.
Like the two things that I don't mind if people lie about it, especially like on dating profiles, is like age. And part of it, I remember talking to a friend of mine, and she's so lovely and wonderful, and she's in her 50s, and she said she put that she was younger than 40, or she was maybe in her 40s. I can't remember, but she was like, if I don't show up at all in people's search.
Anybody's search, right?
And so she was telling me she went out with this guy, and she was honest with him, and like on the first date, and said, hey, I just want to be really clear, this is my age. And she was still younger than him. This is the funniest part. She was still younger than him, which is still bull stupid anyways, but whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't, who cares if a woman's older? But he was like not having it.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what, not my jam. And the other one is height. There are a lot of women who I think just set filters to only be for 6 foot and higher. And so, yeah, you're missing out on a lot of
But
potentials.
but that's their issue, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
so they again, they get what they deserve. And
Mm.
I know that's not the right response all the time, but that's the same thing for, age for me, right? Because I'm over 55 for God's sakes. So I would not show up on anybody's search. Then again, I don't want to. You know, oh, there's that. Yeah. But if I ever did want to, I wouldn't show up. So, but then again, I say I'm dodging a bullet then because I don't want to be on that person's list anyway,
Well,
right?
that's the tricky part, right? It's like, do you really even want to date someone who would limit themselves?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I mean, if the universe is unfolding as it was meant to, then I don't need your app. I don't need your stinking app to find my significant other.
Oh my God. Speaking of significant others, and I know we're over time, but can
Are
I
we?
share a
Oh,
story
please.
from Valentine's Day that was absolutely hilarious with my significant other?
Is this going to be a Patreon story or?
Possibly. I'll let you decide
Okay.
if it's Patreon worthy. So the whole thing started in my opinion, like in a hilarious way. So I'm on my way. I don't even know where I was on a plane, and he's texting me, and he's like, hey, are you going to be in town for Valentine's Day? And I was like, I can make that happen. And he's like, I want to take you to dinner, and I want to take you to a movie, and I want to take you to the theater that we went to on our second date. And he says the name of the theater, and I'm like, that's not where we went. I've never been to that theater ever. I know exactly what theater we went to, IFC, because I used to go to IFC even before I knew him. Like, I've gone to that theater a million times. And he's like, no, 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 we went to, and I'm like, no, we didn't. I'm like, you're literally trying to take me to a theater. You clearly went on another date with another woman. And he's like, no, I didn't. Are you sure it's not? I'm like, I am positive. I've never been to this. So it's hilarious. Like, I'm not, And then he's like, oh, I got an email from that movie theater. It must have just been stuck in my mind. Whatever. I'm like, okay. So fast forward to Valentine's Day, and he shows up here to my apartment, and I was like, baby, I'm like, by the way, because I get my laundry done. I don't have a washer and dryer. So I drop it off across the street, pick it up, whatever. And I was like, I don't want to forget one of your socks was in my laundry. And I go up and get it. And he's like, that is not my sock. I'm like, are you sure? And he goes into like, oh, it's synthetic and I only wear cotton and that's a little teeny like man sock. I'm a big man. This whole thing, and I am dying,
oh my God,
fucking laughing, like dying laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, I can't believe you just tried to give me some other man's sock. And I'm like, literally no other man has been in my apartment. It must have just gotten put in with the laundry. And he's like, can you imagine if you came to my apartment and I was like, hey, Freedom, you left some underwear here and bring out some panties and that are not yours. He's like, you would fucking lose your mind. He's like, you probably wouldn't talk to me for 2 or 3 days. And
he thinks it's only going to be 2 or 3 days. He doesn't know you very well, does he?
He was like, you would not be talking to me. He's like, you'd possibly, end our relationship. And you're bringing me some other man.
You know what, though? Now that you guys have lived through this experience, now, if it ever does happen, you'll be like, where'd you get your laundry done?
Mm-hmm. And the funniest part is I just got my laundry done again, and there was another pair of socks.
Some poor guy somewhere in the city is like, how can I keep losing my socks? I know. Oh, God, that is so funny. I thought maybe he was bullshitting you, like it really was his sock, but he was just fucking with you.
And he literally I haven't seen him since then because he's been back and hit the city he lives in. But he's like, leave that sock out. I'm gonna show you. He's like, I'll try to put it on. Because that's what I said. I'm like, I think you're fucking with me. He's like, the glove, yes.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. What? Okay. All right. He does know that socks are one size fits all, right? Like, unless you're children, right? There's children's socks, there's women's socks, and then there's men's socks. That's it. They don't come in.
He was very clear that he only wears, and he's like, I think he even was like, you didn't notice I'd only wear blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't fucking pay attention to socks. Like, I don't fucking know. No, I don't know. And the irony is I bought him socks for Valentine's Day. It was one of his gifts.
Did you get him synthetic or cotton? That's all I want to know.
No idea. I have no idea. I don't even know. All I know is I shouldn't say every, but that's hyperbole. But a lot of times when I'm talking to him, he's ordering a bagel. Like that's just his go-to thing.
Yeah.
And so I saw these socks online and it had bagels all over it. And it said, you're my everything. So
that's clever. Oh, I like it a lot.
Which he did wear on Valentine's Day.
Love it. So he might wear synthetic socks just for you. That's sacrifice. That's huge.
It's so ridiculous.
That's a keeper right there. You do one, I'll do one.
Like this? No. I don't mind. If you like the show, please hit subscribe below or check out our Patreon page where just for $5 a month, you can see all the outtakes.
All the stuff we can't say. Actually, it's funny that I'm even sort of saying that because we say things on YouTube that are apparently not allowed. We're never going to be able to monetize because we say fuck against the rules on YouTube. So stop saying fuck, okay?
Okay.
No, what are you, crazy?